because the exercises are done in exactly the same way with rotations around the hips. And you have a choice of sitting down or standing up, or try standing up if you can. And if you get tired, you can sit down. And so one thing to keep in mind is that sometimes it's nice to have a chair in front of you or on the side when we do some of these exercises. So if you have a chair handy and you feel unstable, feel perfectly welcome to stand. And in fact, it can be helpful when we do these kicks and some of the other movements. So I'm going to put my chair just over here because I'm going to be up and down. And we're going to start out by taking a nice big opening breath. And imagine that we're scooping scooping energy up from the earth, bringing it overhead, taking a deep breath, extending the stomach out as we breathe, and then rolling that energy over, bringing the energy down from the heavens as we exhale, pushing down through the dantian and collecting and storing a little bit of that energy in our dantians. And we'll try that again, sweeping up, deep breath in, over and down. And as we do this, let's pay attention to our posture. Really feel connected to the ground. Relax. Inhale and exhale. And as you exhale, you want to drop your shoulders. And sometimes it helps to sink a little bit. So let's try it again. Up and down. Exhale and sink, bending the knees. And we'll start our exercises, opening and closing. I like to turn the energy bowl over. Breathing naturally. Try to make it symmetrical, round, controlled movements. Come back to center. And now drop one hand back and block down as we rotate the other hand out to the side and turn and look. Turn and look at the palm opposite your ear. Inhaling as we stretch to the side and exhaling as we come to center. 1, 2, hands rotating in opposite directions, pulling to the right. One hand as we block down into the back with the other. So the back palm should be back, like you're pushing something back, and the other palm to the side should be facing your head on the side. You should be looking at it as you turn. And then just rotate back to holding a ball. And now the other side. Keep your elbows away from your body. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Come back to holding the ball, open and close. When you open and close, you want to open to your shoulder line. No, not past your shoulder line, and close, but not too small. Maybe the size of a basketball, or a little bit smaller. Okay. So now we're going to rotate the ball over 180 degrees, and then pull to the side of the lower hand, the opposite side. So if my right hand is down below, palm facing up, and the left hand is above, palm facing down, I'm going to push in the direction of the fingers of the lower hand, which is down just about at the dantian level. And I'm going to turn, in this case, to the left, and then rotate back to center, holding the ball. Rotate the other way, in this case, left hand down, fingers pointing to the left, pull to the left, back to center, and just keep going with it at your own pace. Breathing as you stretch to the side, exhaling as you come back to center. Just keep going. One reason why I like to do it standing, if you can stand, is you get more rotation around your waist. So if you're sitting to do this, you want to be able to try to turn as far as you can. When you're standing, it almost happens automatically, right? You are trying to get that full extension and twist around your spine. This is a spine exercise. Again, as I've said many times, only go to your comfort level with this. So if you're feeling uncomfortable with these movements, tone them down. Just don't go stretch as far. It's perfectly okay. Back and forth. And then to center, holding a ball. And let's try opening and closing. Breathing in and breathing out. Pushing, like pushing against the gentle resistance. And now we're going to push to the side. Both fingers of both hands are facing forward. Okay, palms extended out to the side. And we rotate. The back hand rotates out, the front hand rotates in, and the hand that you're pulling in, and the arm you're pulling in, the elbow juts right back, straight back. So this is very horizontal movement. Push to the left, twist the hands around, push to the right. And now if you're standing, we're going to add another dimension to this movement. And it's going to turn this movement into a hip exercise, all right? So as you push to one side, I want you to gently step to the other side. And then come back holding a ball. Twist, turn, push to the other side, step to the alternate side. I'm pushing to the right and stepping out to the left. Bring your feet together and come to center. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Try to keep your torso upright. So you're just stepping to the side as you push to the other side. So you're balancing one movement with the other. So as you push to one side, you're stepping to the other side. So that makes it possible to do this with a very controlled, relaxed feeling. And you can feel this in your hips. It's a nice, gentle hip exercise. Opening up the hips, the hip joints. All right. One more, another one. Back to the other side, step to the other side, and come back, feet together. Open and close. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, let's bring our hands down and relax a second. Now, if you can sit down if you like, I'm going to stand. Take a few deep breaths. Relax the shoulders. Roll the shoulders forward. Hollow the chest. Tuck your chin in. Hands at your side, standing or sitting. And if you're standing, bend your knees a little bit and relax. Kind of feel like you're sinking down into the ground. That's the kind of feeling you want to have. Always being connected to the ground. It's very important in Tai Chi. Okay, good. So let's rotate the shoulders up and forward. Just rotate them around in a circle. Up, forward, down, back, up, forward, down, back, and so forth. Great. I'm not asking you guys to do anything more than I do every morning, and I just did these exercises, the same ones I've done this morning already, plus some others. And back. I like to do them when I first get up in the morning. I find that if I put it off, I may forget about doing them, and I don't want to do that. I like to do these every morning, every day of the week, 7 days a week. And if you get into the habit of choosing a time that you want to do this and just sticking to that time, it'll really pay off. Okay, I've been doing a little testimony. I've been doing these for 30 or 40 years. I have no arthritis, no back problems. I have some medical conditions, but they're not related to exercise. And I'm extremely flexible. I haven't shown you some of the things I do, but because I do these exercises with the hips, the ones that I've just showed you, I can do a lot of this kind of stuff that most people at my age can't do. And I'm very flexible in my hips. And again, no arthritis. And I'm 77. I know I look like I'm 24, but I'm actually 77. So anyway, I'm a kind of living testimony. And I'm not bragging. It's not an ego thing. I really don't talk about it very much, and I haven't talked about it in this class. But this system really works. But it doesn't work unless you do it, of course. And actually, it doesn't take that long to really see results, believe it or not, just a few weeks. This is another one of my favorites. By the way, what I was doing before, these movements here, these are called low tiger movements. You can do the same movements using high tiger movements if you want. You step to the side and you shift back and forth laterally. So you're bending one leg and you're keeping the other leg straight. Now, if you choose to go lower, be careful. But you can, every day, if you do these, you can get a little bit lower. These are kind of advanced exercises that I have other students do in other classes. This is called tiger stance. It's used a lot in Tai Chi, but not in Sun Style. Okay, good. And you can do that if you like. Just kind of throwing that in. All right. So let's continue. Let's get in a ready position. Now I'm doing it standing up, of course, and you can do the same thing sitting down. Draw your hands back to your hips, all right, with the heart of the fist up, meaning fingers up, elbows straight back, all right? This is the ready Shaolin position. And now what we're going to do is we're going to punch out with one hand and kick with the alternate foot. Again, standing or sitting. And as you punch out, it's a twisting motion. And so the heart, which starts out in the ready position, is up, and it turns, as you punch and twist out, the heart turns down. So the heart, so your palm, your fists are rotating 90 degrees. 180 degrees. As you step and kick, it's called contralateral. Right hand, left foot, left hand, right foot. And this is right through the shoulder line, all right? You want to get to that, to make it right through the shoulder line, you have to turn your hip or turn at the waist. Very linear, straight. Imagine you're reaching out and punching at your own chest, a person your own height, directly out at that person's chest. And as you turn at the waist, notice you can reach further out. So your strike has is more effective, because as you turn on the waist, you're driving that energy through the waist that's stored in your core in this area, driving it forward as you turn at the waist, adding much more energy to it than just using your hands. And the important thing, getting more exercise, turning at the waist, using your waist. And this is great for balance. If you can, as you kick, you can pick your foot up as you kick, if you can do it. Or do it a little bit, just kick out a few inches above the floor. So what I recommend you do is you start, let's say do 8 stepping out and touching your toe at the end of the punch. And then do 8 where you just kick out a few inches above the floor, kicking out straight, like you're kicking at somebody's ankles. Do 8 of those, and then come up a little bit more, if you can. And you can get eventually to the point where you can actually kick out all the way. If you like to. All right, and then we're going to come down, up, big closing breath. And bring the hands down. Okay, good. Shake it out a little bit. I was doing this I like to do for arthritis. If you have joint problems in your fingers, this is a great exercise. We've done this before. Splaying the fingers in and out, in and out, in and out. As fast or slow as you want. So you're clenching your fists and then splaying your fingers out, and then like you're grabbing and letting go with your hands in front of you, in front of your chest. And I'm going into more detail because there are some folks here that may have visual impairments, okay? So they need a little bit more verbal cues. So that's why I'm going into some more detail so bear with me with that. All right, I'll do like 75 or 100, or until my hands feel tired. You want to feel, some degree of tiredness in order to get something out of the exercise, right? Rub our hands together. Let's rotate make a fist, thumbs up. And rotate, put your hands in front of you and rotate them around like propellers. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. This is great for your wrists. And the other way. Now we're rotating thumbs down. I'm just doing 2 sets of 8 or 3 sets of 8. All right, good. And now clasp your hands together, putting your fingers through each other. So what you're doing is you just engaging your fingers, both hands together. And now push out and in. And make this kind of rotation, pushing out, palms facing out, stretching your fingers, bring them into the chest, bring them down. So it's a circular motion. It's down, out, and up, in. Down, out, and up, in. And breathe with this. Inhale as you stretch, exhale. Inhale as you bring your hands in, exhale as you push out. Let's do 3 or 4 more. Bring your hands down and closing breath. All right. Hands on hips. Your hands on your hips. Stand with your feet apart if you're standing. Lean to the right and to the left. So you want to keep your feet planted. You keep your hips in the same place. Now you're just stretching from side to side. Okay, and we'll end with a closing breath. Okay, so let's do some spinning. This is a style of Tai Chi that uses spinning hands called Ilik Chuan. I don't know if I talked about it much, but it's one of these rare kind of forms that people that do this really well can completely control an opponent with hardly using any force, just using their palms. And it's very esoteric in a sense and difficult to learn. In its simplicity, it's very powerful, as most things are. So, right? So, you know, in some ways, things that appear to be simple are more complex, and this is one of those things. But we're not going to apply them here, but we're going to use them as a wonderful form of exercise. And what it does is teaches you how to control, basically control another person's energy using 3 dimensions or 3 planes: the horizontal, the sagittal, and the frontal plane. So those are the 3 planes that we move through space in, right? If you think about it, the horizontal plane is like a tabletop. The sagittal plane, it's called a sagittal plane, is in and out, which would be the direction of the walls on my right and my left. And frontal plane is this plane in front of us, would be the wall or window in front of me and the wall in back of me. And so those are the only 3 spatial directions that we can move in space. And sometimes we're using combinations of those things, right? So it can get pretty complicated. So the first one is a horizontal plane. And it's like tabletop. So you're going to imagine you're polishing a tabletop, all right, with both hands. And notice you want to get this nice circular motion. All right, so you're going to put your hands out, palms down, and move them together around in a circle right in front of you. Pretend you're at you know what a seance is? A mystical seance, and you've got your hands on the table and you're telling somebody's fortune, something like that. Rotating around. Now you can go in any direction, but I'm going counterclockwise. And just like Tai Chi, Make sure you breathe. Make sure your shoulders are dropped and relaxed, not up like this. Body's relaxed. Okay, now let's reverse it. Let's go around the other way. Now I'm going clockwise. Again, it doesn't matter which direction you go as long as you change. Good, very good. Okay, now, if you're feeling a little fatigue, that's good. So you can, let's just stop and rest a little bit. So now we've spun horizontally in 2 dimensions. In 2 directions, sorry. And so bring your hands up again in the same orientation, palms down. Your hands are about 14 inches apart. In front of you, about almost a little bit higher than your hips. Table height. Now we're going to spin what we call convex, or concave, concave. So concave is a circular motion out and in, right? Out and in. And so you pull both palms in, you reach out, you pull them to the sides, you push out again and bring them in again. And so if you think about it, your right palm is going counterclockwise and your left palm is going clockwise. That's the way it turns out. Spin out, pull in. Spin out, around, forward, pull in. Think about what you're doing. Now focus your attention on these movements. Okay, now let's relax. Bring your hands down to your laps. Okay, now what do you imagine is next? What you'd imagine, the mirror image of that is called a concave movement. So in this case, we bring the hands in and out like a fountain, and around and back in. Pull them together, push out together, and out and around. Bring them back in, push out, and in and around and out, and in and around. Keep going. Okay, now relax. Now there are 2 more. This is going to be alternating, and you'll be alternating in 2 different directions. So this is a little tricky. So if you start out with your hands in that starting position, palms down in front of you, okay, you're going to want to do a concave out with one and a convex with the other. So my right hand is going out and around and in, and my left hand is going in, out, and around. And the hands cross. Now my right hand is going counterclockwise. My left hand is going counterclockwise. Now it doesn't matter, you can go clockwise, doing alternating as well, which is what I'm going to do next. You're pushing one hand out, pulling the other hand in, basically, as you're making these circular motions. And at some point the hands cross, and it doesn't matter if they cross under or over. And let's play with that. Let's cross over and under and over and under and over and under. Okay, so both hands are going counterclockwise. And let's stop and relax. And the last way to spin is alternating clockwise. All right? So we put the hands out, we push one hand out, pull the other hand in, and we're going to go clockwise with both of these alternating movements. And I'm going to go right over left, left over right, because I want to play around with it. This is really trains your mind to think about what your body is doing. And Tai Chi is a mind-body exercise. It takes two to tangle in Tai Chi. And you have to use your mind to control the movements precisely. And so this is what you're doing here. This is a drill to teach your mind to coordinate the movements exquisitely with your hands, in this case. And stop and come down. All right, well, that's great. Let me just check the time. Let's do some more. It's 12:02. So now let's do it. Let's go in one more plane. Now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do it in. We're going to do it in the frontal plane. So in this case, your hands are going to be out like with your palms facing out in front of you, front of your chest. Okay. You know, like bear sits up in the 5 animal frolic, where we start this way and then bear sits up. So that's the position we're going to be in. And again, you can do this standing up as well. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate both hands together clockwise in the frontal plane. Imagine you're feeling something in front of your hands. You're actually, you can feel like you're pushing against something. Nice circular motions, about a circle that circumscribes an area from your neck down to your waist and out to your shoulders. Now let's go the other way, counterclockwise. Now turn your waist a little bit with the movements, all right? Let's rest a second. Convex. Bring the hands out in the starting position. Rotate down and around and up and in and down in front of you. Up to the sides, down in the inside. My right hand is going clockwise, counterclockwise, and my left hand is going clockwise, just like in the horizontal plane, concave. You'll start feeling this in your shoulders too, and this is good. This is more exercise. Okay, and relax. Convex. Up the middle, like a fountain, out to the sides, around and down. Up, out, around and down. One, 2, 3, push out, and 4, and come down and relax. Okay, now it gets a little bit more complex. We're going to do alternating in both directions, clockwise and counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so everyone with me? So here we go. I'm going to go clockwise with both hands, crossing in the middle. So I'm making clockwise circles with both hands, crossing in the middle, just like we did with the horizontal movement. Now you can go one hand behind or one hand in front of the other. And I'm going to change. I'm going to bring my right hand in front, and then I'm going to bring my right hand in back, just to add a little complexity to it, to get my mind to do it without thinking about it. So that's the whole idea, is getting your mind to do these exercises without thinking about it. And if you take it to an extreme in Tai Chi, is learning how to use Tai Chi movements to defend yourself without thinking about it, which isn't something we're concerned about. We are concerned about training our minds and our bodies to be in sync for health and balance. Good, all right. And come down and relax. Okay, so remember we did these, we're going both in clockwise directions. So now, after we rest for a second or two, we're going to repeat this and we're going to go in the opposite directions, counterclockwise. I'm going to bring our hands up and start rotating counterclockwise. Both hands. Left counterclockwise, right counterclockwise. And now rotate in and out, changing the position of the palms as they pass by each other. Okay, and we stop. Let's take a deep breath, closing breath, up and down. Inhale, relax, and push. Right. There's one more. Let's do it. We did the horizontal, we did the frontal. Let's do the sagittal. So this is in and out. This one is isn't that hard to do. It's just basically like the others. All right. So we're going to push both hands in and out. Right. In and out. So push it out and bring it in. Out in circular motions. Clockwise. And you can put your hands together if you like. You can face your palms together and do this, like you're reaching out and grabbing something and pulling it in. Okay, now let's do alternating. Pulling and pushing. All right, and alternating the other way. All right. And then concave. And convex. And if we did them together, it would be like this. All right. And the other way, clockwise. And this is like pushing someone aside or grabbing and pulling in. All right. Okay, so that's the Electron style. Those are some of the some of the exercises that they do as kind of like warm-up exercises using spinning hands. Excuse me. So let's do some Tai Chi now. We're going to go through the set. And we're going to go through the 24 movements, and then we're going to start. We already did it. We started last time. We're going to add 2 more movements, which we've done. We're going to practice those again this week. And it's going to be another brush knee to the right, followed by a move called man walking, straightening out his clothes. And I think if there's any time left, I will concentrate or focus on that because it's a little difficult. It's got a lot of different movements to it in different planes. And in a sense, it's using the same planes that we use in this exercise. So you'll see things going in the sagittal plane, the horizontal plane, and also the frontal plane with this man walking exercise or man walking form in the sun style set. All right, so let's rehearse again. Let's go back, and you can do this standing up. Okay, I'm going to do it standing up, just for the heck of it. If you're sitting, it's exactly the same way. All right, try something a little different. So bring the hands up, fingers pointing down, straight out into your chest and down to your waist. It's a circular movement, up, in and down. And if you're standing, you can step forward and push, out straight, and bring your hands back in and open and close in front of your chest. All right. Single whip. If you're standing, take a little half step to the right. Push out, extend, leaning slightly to the right, following the gaze, following the right fingers. Shift your weight to the left. Bring your right hand under your left elbow. Bring your leg in, right leg in. Now you're lined up at the left-hand side, the lower right hand down near the waist, the upper hand pointed straight out, palm out near your head. We switch up and down, and if you're standing, we step to the right, shift and turn, shift up and down, turn to the left, and step in with the left foot to the right. Okay. Now we're lined up at the left side, left hand up, right hand down. Let's keep going. Shift up and down, maintaining the vertical position at the shoulder line. So left hand down, palm down, right hand up, across the chest, over to the left side, palm facing out. I'm going to step to the right again, pull to the right. Now I'm lined up at the right shoulder line, switch and step in with the left foot. As I rotate to the left, hands together, I get to that left side. I'm going to turn my lower hand up, palm up. I'm going to bring it up across my chest out front and turn forward to where the hands are opposite each other and open and close. All right? Now, from this point on, I'm going to do it just like standing because I don't want to complicate it for people that are sitting down because the foot movements at this point get more complicated. All right? So we're just going to do it as if we're sitting down. All right? But I'm standing up. The next move is going to be, after open and close, is going to be brush knee. So I turn to the right and set up on the right-hand side, rotating my hands over so that my left fingers are touching my right elbow. And I turn my waist just in that exercise, and I look back at that right hand, that right palm, up just opposite my right ear. And then I start to rotate back to center. I sweep out and across with my left hand, blocking across and bringing it into the waist as I push forward with the right hand, driving that palm straight out at my opponent. All right. Now we play the loop. We bring the hands into the play the loop position by bringing the left palm up and the right palm down, kind of like we're turning a wheel clockwise. And now my left palm is up, facing to the right. My right palm is down, facing to the left. And my hands are lined up right in front of me. My arms are at about 90 degrees. We're going to turn the lower palm up. We're going to turn the upper palm down. And we're going to then push out with the lower palm, push in, pull in with the upper palm, and slide the hands across each other as we extend the right hand out, the fingers pointing straight out at about neck level. And the left palm is drawn in, palm down at the left waist or hip. Again, turning the palms over, we do that, repeat that movement, extending out, brushing the hands past each other, pulling in with the right palm down to the waist. And we make two fists now without changing position. One fist is pointed directly out in front of me, and the other is right at my hip. I'm going to fold my left fist over across my chest and punch over that fist. So this is a parry, fold over punch. Opening the hands up, connecting my wrists together, my fingers and palms pointing out, kind of like a butterfly. I'm now going to bring the palms in to a calling block, pulling my palms in front of my face, pointing out. My thumbs are pointed directly at each other, and my fingers are slanted toward each other, pointing slightly up. My elbows are down, right? The elbows are not out like this. They are down. So as you bring your hands in, it's like a splitting force, pulling in and down as you pull out in front of, pull back in front of you to protect your face. Bringing the palms further down, bring them down a little bit and pushing out. Calling block, bring the palms down and push out. Push, bring the hands in, open and close. And now in the other direction, all right? Single whip in the other direction, take a little step to the left, push out, extend, do your single whip, lean to the left, and now come back to the right and bring your left hand down underneath the right elbow and step in with the left foot. Now we're lined up at the right shoulder line, left hand down, right hand up. As you switch up and down, we step to the left and pull to the left around the waist as we switch up and down and change the hand position. We step in with the right leg. We turn and pull to the right. And one more. we switch and step to the left with the left leg, pull to the left, turning around the waist. As we switch up and down, we step in. And now instead of switching up and down, I'm going to step in. I'm going to just take my lower hand, turn it over, palm up, bring it up and across my chest in an arc as I turn and face forward, holding the ball in front of my chest, feet together, open and close. So we've done that single whip and cloud hands in the other direction, right? Because we're stepping in this case. All right. Brush knee. This is brush knee in a brush knee left. So we set up on the left side, rotating the palms over, touching the right palm to the left elbow, turning at the waist, turning back, looking back at the left palm, which is facing my left ear. And now I'm going to sweep across with my left hand and push forward with my right palm. So now my left palm is straight out, and my right palm is palm facing down at the hip. Playing the lute in the other direction. So my left palm is out this time. My left arm is out, my right arm is down, palm on the hip. So I'm going to bring the left palm down in a circle, and I'm going to bring the right palm up. And so now I'm playing the lute in the other direction, which is the mirror image. So I've got my right palm up facing left, thumb pointed at my face. I've got my left palm down around my waist, a little bit higher, with my palm facing to the right and the fingers pointing slightly up. Both arms are bent at 90 degrees. Now, once you're set up like this, you don't have to really think about what you're going to do next, because we're going to do 2 deflections of parry and a punch in the opposite direction. We turn the lower palm up, the left palm up, the upper palm facing out, down. And again, we pull in with the right, push out with the left, slide the hands past each other, bringing the right palm down to the hip, thumb touching the hip, palm down, the left palm straight out, palm up. And this is a strike using the fingers called a knife strike. Simply make 2 fists, all right? And to parry, we're going to fold the left palm up, over across our chest as we punch up and over the left wrist with the right hand. With the right fist, which is down near starts out near the hip and comes up across that left wrist, which is folded over the chest. And now this punch is not with the heart down. It's with the eye of the fist up. So the eye of the fist is, if you make a fist, it's a little donut shape on the top. That is defined by your thumb and your forefinger. All right, so you're punching out with the eye of the fist up instead of the heart of the fist down, like we did in the original exercise, in that kick and punch exercise. The next one is the same. We just open the hands up, draw back in front of our face, elbows come back and down, calling block, bring the palms down a little bit to the chest and push out. Bring the hands back to your chest, in front of your chest, open and close. All right. So this open and close you do a lot in this form, and it's sort of a way of re-equilibrating everything before you go on. So it's a way of kind of recentering, recharging your energy, taking a deep breath in, deep breath out, and thinking about what you're going to do next. And what we're going to do next is we're going to do another brush knee to the left in the same direction that we did the last one. We're going to rotate to the sides, to the left side, rotate the right fingers over to the left palm, to the left elbow, and rotate the left palm over. And as we turn, now my left palm will be at my left side of my head, and I'm looking at it. and I've got my right fingers on my left elbow, right? And I'm actually turned to the left, right? I'm not facing forward. Because as I do my brush knee, I'm going to turn at the waist to the center to drive that energy of blocking across and pushing directly through with the left palm. So here I go, turning and twisting, blocking across straight, pulling the right hand in and driving that left palm straight out as I turn at the waist. Bang. All right. So we have done open and close. I'm sorry, we did single width. Sorry, got mixed up. All right. So we've done another brush knee. That was the second brush knee to get us set up for the final move, for this next move, which is the new one. And it's called man walking, straightening out his clothes. And we went through this last time. We're just going to do it slowly again. It's a beautiful move. We're going to reach over to the right hip. Now the palm is facing down near the right hip, right? The right palm's facing down with the right thumb attached to the right hip. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my palm down so now it's touching my hip, as if I'm pulling out a gun out of a holster on my right side. I am going to pull that gun out, pretending that my finger is the barrel, and I'm going to push it forward. At the same time, I'm going to rotate my left palm to the side, so now the palm is facing to the right. So now the palms, as I push out with my right palm, I pull in with the left palm, and the palms are facing each other. And I want to do this to the point where the right palm is just ahead of the left palm. And the left palm, palms facing each other, the left palm, the fingers of the left palm or left hand are now attached to the inside of the right palm or the wrist of the right hand. And so if I were to do this sideways, it will look like this, pulling the gun out of the holster, rotating the left palm around, facing to the right, pull the gun out of the holster, push it forward, draw back the left palm until I can connect the left fingers to the right wrist. All right? So it's easier to show you how to do this sideways. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the palms up. I'll maintain that contact of the left fingers to the right wrist. Even as you open them up, maintain that contact. So it's like folding a book open. The palms are out. I bring them in and up under my chin. All right, so I've got the palms in, that book open up under my chin. And now I'm going to strike out again, not changing anything. All right. And now I'm going to rotate over to the right. Rotate over to the right from here, like this, rotate to the right. And then bring the palms, turn the right palm so that it's like you're holding a tray out to the side. And swivel it around under your chin and bring it in under your chin. Maintain contact. Fingers on the wrist, left fingers on the wrist, and face forward. As you come around, face forward and push out. So you see my fingers are still attached to the wrist. So if I reverse the motion, it looks like this. Come up, in, all right, out, to the side, rotate around, and push. So that's a kind of complicated move. And what you're doing here is after you brush knee, the knee, all right, pull the gun out of the holster, push it forward, make the connection, Turn the hands up, bring them in under the chin, pushing out, rotate to the side, rotate to the side, and then swivel the right palm around under your chin, like you're holding something. Bring it forward, twist in around the point of contact between the fingers of the left hand and the right wrist. So now both palms are facing out. So you have to do that little swivel. Kind of looks like this. So you imagine that this is a joint. There's a joint between your fingers and your wrist, and the joint can't move. It can only swivel around in different directions and push out. All right. So let's try it again. Brush knee. Right hand down, left hand out. Pull the gun out of the holster. Bring it up in a circle. Push it forward. Pull the left hand in. Touch left fingers to the right wrist. All right. Fold the book open. Pull the book in, under, out. Strike. Rotate around to the left. Swivel the right palm around under the chin. Bring it forward. Turn them both out and push out. And what you're doing here is guiding this strike with the left fingers. And in the application of this would be to push out. This would be a strike. All right. You bring the hands in, strike again, come out, strike to the right, bring your hands in and push. So if we go further with this, you get to do the same movement on the left side, which is what we're going to do, I hope. So this is a good point to ask you guys if you want to learn